Most men over 30 want to stay strong, sharp, and athletic. But with a busy life and limited time, training can become easily random, unfocused, or something you just fit in whenever possible. Yesterday I asked the BuiltSimple community and you wanted it, you get it. Today I'm showing you my new training plan and the exact system I'm going to use over the next months to build strength, endurance and muscle. And on top I will speak about the differences between lab science and field science. Plus the three main pillars my program is built around: overreaching sets, density, and weighted sets. This is not bodybuilding perfection. This is about simplicity and effort. I want you to understand the why behind this program. And in my opinion, there are some useful information about training programming, which I'm going to touch base on. So in my opinion, a plan must cover three things. It must fit into your everyday life, it must make sense somewhere, and most importantly, you must enjoy it. You want to see that fire in your eyes when you go into your training session. That's essential. I trained professionally for years. I was part for the national cycling team, and for the last 5 years I was a Hyrox elite athlete. But after ending that chapter March 2025, I trained without real goals. I just trained, but there were no specific numbers. It's really good for the mindset, but I started missing something measurable. Nothing against following a standard hypertrophy plan only, but it's nothing for me because I think the results are really objective and not measurable in that sense. Something is missing there in my eyes, and I believe everyone should go through different intensity phases over the course of the year. That's what I'm going to do now, and it might be interesting for you to do as well. So for this, yesterday I tested all my benchmarks, and I believe everyone should do that on a more or less regular basis. To give you the numbers, I hit 31 pull-ups, 48 dips, 48 push-ups, 16 weighted pull-ups, and 21 weighted dips, all in one session with 5-minute rest in between sets. I did it in that way to be able to retest it in the exact same setting. And that gave me clarity again. I want structure, I want progression, and that's not for competition, but for myself. So I set new goals for 2026, which I want to hit as fast as possible. 50 pull-ups, 75 dips, 125 push-ups, and 15 clean muscle-ups. All doable with the right program. In the last 20 years, I learned one thing, which is really important to understand. There are two kinds of science. Lab science, basically the stuff we see in studies, so clean numbers, volume, reps in reserve, frequency. And then there's field science, and that's the stuff that actually works besides the lab science. That's the stuff that really works with a busy life when you're tired or your body is acting weirdly. Best athletes in the world use a mix of both, and so does this plan. My structure is simple and built around three pillars. Weighted work. In this program I'm going to use medium-heavy working sets to build force production and make my bodyweight sets a bit easier. Pillar number 2, EMOMs and ladder workouts. These are great to build density and conditioning, and the time efficiency of these is unbeatable. Number 3, really important for big sets, overreaching sets. So here we are going to use bodyweight reps to failure and then go into banded sets that are making bodyweight a bit easier and support the system to push muscular endurance to the absolute max. Everything fits into 40 to 60 minutes. That was important for me, even when I said I want to go into 6 sessions. And I'm not saying I'm going to do all 6 in a week. That's the plan if I have the time, but I'm just going to work through basically 3 days before I'm going to take a rest day and then just keep going like that. So in some weeks I might hit 6 sessions, in some I might just hit 3 to 4, but I'm just going to stay in that rhythm. So let's jump into the plan. I will try to keep that as short as possible, but you find the whole plan in the comment section as well. And after that, I will give you some more info about the plan and how to progress it. So day number 1 is the push day, where we are going to do weighted sets and working on density plus core. For the warm-up, I'm going to do specific static holds, and then we are going to jump into weighted dips. Here we are going to do 4 sets of 80% of the tested reps with a 3-minute rest in between. Afterwards, we are going to do 2 EMOMs, a 10-minute ring push EMOM with 30% of our max set push-ups, followed by a 10-minute push-up EMOM on kettlebells, again with 30%. I'm going to use these two exercises because they give me a bigger range of motion compared to a standard push-up. And after that, I'm simply going to do 3 sets of toes to bar, 2 muscle failure with 2 minutes rest in between. Day number 2 is going to be the pull day, where we are going to do overreaching sets plus a ladder workout. Starting the workout with hangs and scapular work specific to the session, and then going to jump into a muscle up EMOM for 5 minutes. I haven't worked on muscle ups a lot, so I kept that short for week 1, where I'm just going to do 3 strict muscle ups, each minute on the minute with clean technique, followed by the pull up overreaching sets. Here I want to do 3 to 4 rounds in week 1, and the goal is to hit my max number, so the 31 reps from my test in each set. So I'm going to do bodyweight pull-ups until I reach muscle failure, and then I'm going to use a band for assistance to reach the 31 reps in every single set. And after that, I jump into a ladder workout, pull-ups again, where I'm just simply going to do 1 repetition of pull-ups, rest, 2 reps, rest, 3 reps, and I keep going until I reach muscle failure, and then I go the ladder back down. Day number 3 is going to be lower body and conditioning. As a warm-up, I'm going to do 200 bodyweight lunges, and then followed by every 2-minute workout for 20 minutes. Here I'm going to do 10 kettlebell deadlifts plus shrugs with 2 36 kilogram kettlebells, and then in the remaining time I'm going to do as much burpees as possible. 20 minutes every 2 minutes. Going to start with the kettlebell deadlifts, and then for a finisher I'm going to do some shoulder health work just in EMOM, alternating for 10 minutes. In minute 1 face pulls on the rings till muscle failure, and in minute 2 Y raises on rings till muscle failure. Then the rest day would be following latest before we jump into day 4, which is going to be then the push day, where we are going to do the overreaching sets and the ladder. So here we are going to do 2 sets each of dips and push-ups, where I'm going to do for the dips 2 times max reps at body weight, followed by band assistant reps until I hit 60 repetitions. And for the push-ups, going to do 2 sets of max push-ups until muscle failure. And then I'm going to do upper body elevated push-ups till I'm going to reach 60 reps. The goal here is to increase the reps each week a bit, or basically fill up the reps without the band, but I will speak about that a bit later. And after these 4 sets overall, we go into a dip ladder and a ring push-up ladder, where again we ramp up to muscle failure, 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 reps, and then come down the ladder again. So high volume day here, followed by day 5, where we are going to do then the weighted pull day and density work plus core again. So again, warming up with hangs and scapular work, followed by weighted chin-ups, where I'm going to do 2 sets weighted till muscle failure with 3 minutes rest in between, followed by a pull-up EMOM working on density. 15 minutes with 20% of my max reps at body weight, followed by a ring row EMOM, 10 minutes, again at 20% of my tested pull-ups. So the reps are going to stay the same. My goal is to work through the reps. If I can do it, I will increase the reps next week. And then we finish the session with either side-to-side knee raises or ab ring rollouts. 3 sets to muscle failure with 2 minutes rest in between, straightforward. Followed by the last day, which is going to be lower body again and some assistant work, but for the upper body, core and endurance. So here I'm going to warm up with 100 lunges and 100 burpees, keeping it really simple, followed by weighted squats with my weight vest. Here I want to do 5 sets till muscle failure with a 2-minute rest in between. So really high squat volume, followed by Romanian deadlifts with the 2 36 kilogram kettlebells till muscle failure with 2 to 3 minute rest in between. And then a farmer carry AMRAP for 10 minutes, where I'm going to do 10 minutes max meters farmer carry with the heavy kettlebells, and every stop I just do an active recovery with 10 burpees. So for the lower body volume, you basically see that I really focus on the hinge movements more than on the squat movements, because I believe everyone should do more work for the hamstrings. That's always the best thing you can do for knee health and hip health. So I would always focus on that in my training. All of that is combining intensity, hypertrophy work, strength work, and density in a really simple way. This works because we have a high enough frequency. So we're basically training each muscle at least twice per week with relatively high volume. It works for me because the sessions are 40 to 60 minutes long. I think right now closer to 45 minutes, but when I'm going to increase the minutes or reps, it's probably going to be closer to 60 minutes. The goal is to progress really smart here. Whenever I go through an EMOM or a ladder, I increase the rep by 1 repetition the next time I repeat a workout. Every time I do the overreaching sets, I try to do as much reps as possible at body weight. And my goal is to basically get to around 80% body weight reps and 20% band supported reps before I increase the overall number by 5. For everything else, I just try to beat last week's reps, just by a tiny bit. And then I'm going to retest my numbers in 8 to 12 weeks. This is not about being perfect. There is no right or wrong. In my eyes, there is more or less optimal. But honestly, the progress between programs is usually pretty tiny if you go hard. Go hard and you can stick to it. This is about staying motivated, seeing progress, and being consistent while life stays full. So as mentioned, fun in training is super important for me. So I try to combine enjoyment with lab and field science. This is the plan I'm running now. I'm used to way more volume from my professional athlete days, but that's a totally different sport for me, even when the training systems are really similar. And I can't wait to get started here. I will update you with the progress, the retests, and the adjustments I'm going to make in the program. And in the next video, I will go over the topic how you can create your own program. I think I'm going to film different videos about different training systems you can use depending on your goal, because we want to train simple, but training programming isn't that simple. So if today's video was helpful, I appreciate every single like and comment, and see you in the next video, guys.